Okay. So first, y'all had to do progress check 3, along with some practice handout. Just got to make sure we understand this. Our graphing, our quadratics, our transformations, and our absolute values. So before you get your daily quiz, we still have to do for absolute value. Show me that you know what's going on. First, graphing absolute value, section 3.5. Did you land it in the right spot, especially on number 1 where it had a different scale? Page, was it 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. Is that the last page?
Almost. And then the chapter test. I don't know that we'll use it, but I like having it there just in case we need a little extra practice. Okay. Below that, these graphs were already done for us. You just had to tell me stuff about them. Remember that every parabola will have a vertex that is either a maximum or a minimum. And wherever it hits the x-axis, those are called your zeros or your solutions. Okay? So in this case, the minimum was 0. It happened when x was 0, and that also happens to be the 0. Because that right there is almost the parent function. It just got a little squished. Round 2, it's got a maximum. How do I know where the maximum is when the scale is goofy like that? How do I know that's at 12? How do I know it's not at 13? How do I know it's not 12.1?
Because if you go halfway, then it's 15.
Okay. How about halfway in between my zeros? Remember that these things are symmetric. We mirror them. What's halfway in between negative 2 and 2? 0. So if I know that the vertex is going to happen when x is 0, I could just plug a 0 in there. And I get my vertex is at 0, 12. Okay? So that's how you can double check it. Just open them, dude. Just get it.
Well, I was trying to open it from the top, but that didn't work. I got it. Can you give me some? My God, that's the reason I didn't bring my food in today.
Taking my ransom.
No, I'm joking.
Okay. Oh my god, I haven't had a combo in like 15 years. That's amazing.
I hate those. I'm telling you, I love this. It's the move.
That was a dumb decision. Now I'm going to want a combos. How do I graph these? Do you remember?
You make a chart.
That's exactly it. We graph by table. And the chart was XY. Pick those X's right smack in the middle of the graph. And we're just going to type like that. Let the calculator do the heavy lifting for you. If I put in a negative 3, I get negative 3 squared is 9. 9 by negative 3 is negative 27. Negative 27 plus 12 is negative 15. Plug in a 4 is 0. Or sorry, negative 2. Get 0. Get 0. Get negative 15. Get 9. Get 9. Get 12. Plug those in, let the calculator do the work for you, use parentheses, and then you just plot points. Okay? Below that was talk about the transformations. The transformations, we had our little cheater chart. Whether it's x minus h plus k, where this is squared, or x minus h in absolute value land plus k, no matter what, the idea was if something is positive or negative, if it's inside or outside the parentheses or brackets, if it's in the parentheses, it's bass-backwards land. Opposite of plus is go left. Opposite of minus is go right. If it's outside the parentheses or brackets, then it's normal land. Plus is up, minus is down. And I told all of you to have that cheater chart. Probably be handy to put it on a note card or something so you don't have to keep flipping back in your notes. And these were just, here's the parent function, what'd you do? Here's the parent function, what'd you do? Okay? And then down at the bottom, they ask for the vertex. Remember, the vertex is that pointy part. It's where it changes direction. So if I know that this is a plus 3 inside my absolute value, I know that it's going to move left 3. Well, if it moves left 3, it's at the point negative 3, 0. Okay? Any questions about the progress check? All right, go away. Poke. Poke. Then, no, your quiz is on Monday. Top half. You should have that graph. 2, 3, 4, 5. That graph. And that graph. Yes. That's what we had the whole day for. Okay. Do you have your vertices at 0, negative 4? Do you have your vertex at 0, 3? Do you have your vertex at 0, 2? And are they going in the correct direction? Okay. Use the parentheses, poke buttons on your calculator, plot points. Using transformations, this is just a line, but instead of starting here, it's right here at 5. So if it went up 5, use that cheater chart. Up 5. Is it positive or negative? Is it inside or outside? Someone look at the chart and answer. Thank you. So x plus 5, 5 is on the outside of parentheses or brackets. It's a V. V's have absolute value. Okay. Now, I don't need to put my 1 outside here if I know that it's just going to be 1 anyway. But I do see that it went down how far?
3.
So is that positive or negative 3, inside or outside?
Negative 3 outside.
It's a parabola. So I'm going to have it went up what? Just 1. Inside or outside, positive or negative?
Outside, positive.
Okay, so since there's nothing else that's going to be added in here, I should probably just leave it as x squared without parentheses. If you left parentheses there and just didn't put anything in it, that's also fine. So this is kind of working backwards. Instead of here's the equation, tell me the transformations, they gave you a graph with the transformations. You had to tell me the equation. Any questions about those six? Right. I know. And because it bothers some kids, I'm just going to leave it there. Describe the translation. So now you tell me what happened. So this starts as y equals x. This starts as y equals absolute value of x. This starts as y equals x squared. Do you remember what those are called? If it's the thing that that whole family of functions started from. The parent function. Okay? Who's your mathematical daddy? Okay? Absolute value of x, x squared. Regular x. So if this thing went down 4, what happened? Okay, sorry. If this has a minus 4 next to it, it's a negative 4 outside of parentheses or brackets, so I will say shift down 4. This has a plus 5 inside brackets, up, down, right, or left. Okay, inside the brackets is left, right, and inside the brackets is bass-backwards land, so we go left 5. It's outside parentheses or brackets, and it's negative.
But it's also squared.
This part's squared, so that just tells me that it's going to be a parabola when I graph it. This thing heads down 3. So then, this one I hope we're good with. Start down 4. Use my slope of 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Make yourself a line, but actually hit the dots. Next one, I'm going to go, as we said, left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you remember what the slope was on the right side of these? Yep, it was just 1. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Mirror. And you get the big check mark. Wow, I just can't hit anything today. I should go kick for our football team. And this one, if you okay. This one, if you can't actually graph by transformations, if you don't know what the fun little steps are for it, then in that case, grab your calculator. Something squared minus 3. And make that table out of it. And you should get points here, 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 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it'd be off-road. And you get a U. And then down here, that was our absolute value. That's where we left off before. These were the last things we did, and we said we weren't 100% on them before doing the daily quiz. Right 4 up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 up 2. Do your slope of 1 on the right, mirror it on the left. Left 1, down 3. Slope of 1 on the right, mirror it on the left. Right 3, down 5. Right 3, down 5. I drew the arrow right over it. Yeah, that is a 2. Well, crud. Right 2, down 5. Slope is 1. Mirror across the other side. We got them? Yes. Okay. So, what? Why are we being dumb? What are we doing? Daily quiz. 3-7 absolute value. I would like for you to graph y equals I want you to graph that and tell me what the transformations are. We shouldn't have that out anyway. Remember, we lost that. Look at how much better you're doing now that we have less distractions, too. Okay. Graph it and tell me the transformations. Okay. That's just what they were. That's what that whole section was. Okay. Transformations. If we say that the parent graph is absolute value of x, okay, who's your mathematical daddy? Absolute value of x. Then there were two transformations. Tell me what they were.
Left 3, up 1.
Okay. I will shift this left 3, up 1. So my vertex that would have started here is instead going to get moved left 3, up 1. From there, I what? Up 1 over 1. Over which way? Oh, okay. And then just connect the dots and make my line, right? Oh, because it's an absolute value, we got to go the other way. Connect the dots, make your big old V. So you should have this and this. You should actually have your vertex in the correct spot. Your slope on the right side should be 1 over 1. And I'm also going to say 1 for over here because I'm seeing that on our test. Some of you are just making a line instead of a V. Did you actually make a V? Okay, so 3 for the graph, 2 for naming the transformations. We feel good?
I actually got 5 out of 5.
No.
That's the first time I did it.
Okay. No, because we are going to also practice our linear equation since that last test was a little sketchy. Oh, yeah, we are. What's up?
I did a big old whoopsie. I marked it right. I marked it wrong on this one because I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't thinking right.
One off. It just means that your vertex was in the wrong spot. You still did what you were supposed to.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's 4 out of 5.
Thank you.
Yo, you've been in here for 3/4 of the year by now. You know that if you ever got a question on how do I score this up, just ask. Okay? All right. Then. Yes. We have a handout. I said that we need practice. Y'all, that last quiz, it hurt my feelings. Okay? I handed them back the other day. Okay? But that quiz hurt my feelings. We We need to know how to do lines. You did it all last year. We practiced it in here. And then some of us just could not get slope right to save our lives. I saw some kids using like the y-intercept and the slope as an xy coordinate and then just making every one of them a slope of 1. Like, I know you know it better than that. And you also, collectively as a group, you did almost all of that work for that unit too. So we shouldn't have 60s, low 70s on our quiz, 50s. Ugh. We should not have that on a quiz where it's something we've done so many times. So we are going to practice. Okay, this goes bye-bye. And you have front and back. There's 9 on each side. The front page is just graph lines. Hi? Yes. The front page is just graph lines. The second page is all of our inequalities. That was something that we were having trouble with too, was shading. Okay, some of us either wouldn't shade at all, or maybe we would shade the wrong spot, or whatever it was. We just need more practice with this. And that also means it's going to be on your next test again. Okay, expect probably, of the 6, I would expect 1 is graph a quadratic and tell me stuff about it. One of them is tell me a bunch of stuff about transformations. One of them is absolute value graph. Expect at least 1 is graph line and tell me stuff. 1 is shade inequality and tell me stuff. Okay, we're going to hit it again because we need the practice. That is the stuff that if you leave my room not knowing, I can't give you credit. Okay, like you have to know it. So I want you to look front and back. There are 18 problems there. And there's 10 of you. 10. Riley, pick one that I have to do. Pick one on the front that I have to do. I just screenshotted them out of worksheet. They were just problems that I wanted to do. Pick something on the front that I have to do.
18.
Okay? That was something that we struggled with, was what happens when this isn't written in slope-intercept form. Y'all did fine with slope-intercept form, but when it wasn't, I don't know how many of you I saw you do something like this. Um, 2, 4. Okay. Like, that's not even freshman math. Okay. This doesn't look right. That's why we chose it, right? It looks funny. I want this to be in slope-intercept form because that's what I'm used to. That's the thing that was drilled into my head. Slope-intercept form looks like this. It's rise. If it's positive, up, negative, down. Run, we always go to the right until we have to switch things. Plus start. So this don't look right, make it look right. What can you move to make that y by itself? Who's in the way? That 2x is in the way. So I'll start by subtract 2x, subtract 2x. I've got 4y is 4x minus 6. It still isn't by itself. So what do you want to do?
Subtract 4.
Not subtract 4.
Divide by 4.
Right? Because that 4 is hugged up on that y. If they're smashed together, they're multiplying. So we'll divide. This is another thing that I saw. Kids would just divide by 4 here and quit. Math is communist. What you do for one, you do for all. You divide all those by 4. That's just why 4 over 4 is 1. What's negative 6 over 4 reduced to? What's a number they have in common?
2.
They both have 2 in common. What's 6 divided by 2?
3.
4 divided by 2.
2. Oh, I was close.
Now I got my equation. I will start at negative 3 halves. Oh, where's negative 3 halves?
Down 2.
That's our y-intercept. It's where we're starting on the y-axis.
Left.
Can you go down 3 halves of a unit?
We start at 0. Up 3 left.
Oh, it's 1.5.
There you go. Down 3 halves means, well, isn't this whole box 1 half, 2 halves?
Yeah.
3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves, 7 halves, 8 halves, because 8 halves is 4. That was down 4 boxes. Just cut the boxes in halves and then count down 3 halves. Or Paxson recognizes that as, isn't that just negative 1.5? Sometimes it's okay to use a decimal to ballpark where it's going to be. So I'm going to start down 1.5. I started down 1.5. Was this a positive or negative slope? Heck, what is the slope?
1.
Right? There's nothing in front of the x, so I know there's a 1 there. How do I turn a 1 into a fraction? Put it over 1. Okay, is it positive or negative? Positive says go up and to the right. So from here, how do I go up 1 and right 1 if it's halfway through the box? What's up 1 box from halfway through the box? Halfway through the box again. So I'll go up 1 over to the right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. And it's always going to be halfway through the box. If I didn't have enough room to the right or up, or if I just want more points, what else could I do? Oh, no, this isn't a V, right? Down 1, left 1. It's not a V. It's not absolute value. So we'll just keep going down 1, left 1. And then I'll connect my dots, trying to actually hit my dots. Hey, that one wasn't bad. Okay. Flip it over. One, two, three, 4. Shane. Okay. Shane's going to pick something on the back that I have to do. What's up? Okay.
On the back, you said?
Yep. Okay. Ew, fractions. Right? Hi.
Can't we just multiply it by... We have to find common denominators.
You can do that to get rid of all your fractions. Now, I don't want to do that just yet because I want there specifically to be 1y. Remember, that's the form that we like it to be in. So pause on that thought. I'll show you why I don't want to do that afterwards. But yes, you can. Okay? Like, you can do that. I personally don't want to, and I'll show you why after I do this. Okay? I want y by itself. Who's in the way? That 1/3 x is in the way. So what do I do to get it out of there? Those two terms are being added, so I just subtract it out of there. Say minus 1/3 x. Minus 1/3 x. Well, this part just zeroes out, and I get 1/2 y greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Do I combine those? Do I take 6 minus 1/3? No, that's a turtle and a giraffe. I'll just write them next to each other. They just stand there awkwardly. Okay? Now, if I want y by itself, what's in front of y? I can divide all of them by 1/2, and that's the same as dividing by fractions as easy as pi. So dividing by half is the same as multiplying by 2/1. If I multiply this whole honking thing by 2, that will get rid of it. See why I didn't want to multiply by 6, the common denominator? Because if I had, I would have had a 3y over here left at the end. I would have had to undo what I already did. So 2 and this cancel. I just get y. 2 times negative 1/3. Well, 2/1 times negative 1/3 is negative 2/3. Or let the calculator do the work for you. I don't care. I just want you to do it. What's 2 times 6? 12. And then I run into a problem. Count how many boxes I got to the north of that origin. Ruh-roh. I can't start at 12 if I only got 10 boxes. I mean, if you want to go off-road, you got to be very careful. I can just go by 2s. It's not a big deal. If I go by 2s, and I'm supposed to start at 12, how many boxes up is that? Count by 2s. 6 boxes, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What's my slope?
It is down to right.
Okay, negative 2/3, because it's negative is down, and we always go to the right. You just have to be careful. We did this in the book so many times. If I go down 2, how many boxes am I going down?
1 box, and then you go right 3.
So down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3.
Why does it do that?
Because I'm emphasizing that as 2, even though it's 1 box. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, dude. I'm going to talk like that. It's dad mode. I can't get rid of it. In fact, I tried making a political hit each other deck for Commander, for Game Club, playing Magic, and they just kept hitting me more. And they told me after the fact that whenever you try to speak calmly and reasonably, you sound like you're talking to a toddler, and it just makes us mad and we want to hit you more. Well, they kind of gang up on me anyway. So,
I see why. Why don't we all right now? That's still wouldn't work. Keep talking.
bring it. I'll see you at the skate park after school, boy.
Okay.
No. I'm also going to go up 2 and left 3. I'm going to back that up. Okay, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, being careful that it is still 1 box at a time. Connect the dots. Use a straight edge. I still don't see very many straight edges out there. Okay, was that supposed to be a solid line?
No.
How many of you just made a line and quit?
It was supposed to
It's got Pac-Man in there. It's got an inequality. You got to throw some shade at it. So is it solid or dotted? How do I know the difference?
Because it has an equal to.
More ink here, more ink there. How do I know which way to shade?
I don't. Oh.
There's two ways to do it. Way number one is I can test zeros. If I were to put in 0 for x and y at the very beginning, I'd have 0 is less than or equal to 6. Is that a true statement? Yes. So since this works, that means everything on that side works. I'll shade below the line. What's another way?
Since it goes up by 2, shouldn't it be spaced closer together? Because you went down 2, right 3,
Uh-huh.
and went by 2 up. Shouldn't it be closer together?
Up 2 is up one box.
Sorry, down 2, right 3.
Down 1, 2, right 3. 1, 2, down 3. Remember, I had to go change my scale.
For the y.
Okay. You don't have to change the x to match the y. Did you? You can. And when you do, now yours is going to be a little more squished, right? And that's okay. You chose to change your x and your y the same. That's cool. I only changed my y. Our graphs are going to look a little different, but then when we look at the scale on them, we both did the same thing. That's a very good question. I like that. The other one is, y'all remember this? That says y is what then? The line. Less than the line. Where are y's less than? Up or down? So I just go down from the line, which is towards the 0 that we did the other way. So you get your choice. You can graph either way. I don't really care. I'm not just going to stand up here and color. Okay, y'all can shade faster than me on your paper. Here.
What is that? H-E-R-E. Well, the end looks like a P.
Yeah, you going to graph over her. Okay. So I did one on each side, a little bit of review on each side. You got time. I want you doing, start with, yeah, you're going to do the whole thing, but start with 3 on each side, 3 that you feel confident on. Because, oh, you know what's coming. Volunteer or get drafted. Okay? No, that's Russia's army. They are conscripts.
Really?
Yes. They are forced to. So, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to give you time to work. You got 2 people in here, maybe 3 if when Slime comes back. I don't know. Got some stuff going on, right? And there we go. We are back online. Okay. Some of you volunteered. Let's start at the beginning. Who do what? You want to get yours out of the way? I like it. Riley says, give me blood. Okay. Okay. Where are you starting? This one's already in slope intercept form. Okay. Up to right 1. Yes, sir. Make a whole bunch of points. I dare you to try to make a straight line since y'all make fun of me when I screw up.
I got this.
You got this?
I got this.
Bring it.
Big old ruler. Set it down in order to
I've already told you that. I can't use that up there for that reason.
just set it right there.
Okay? Because if I try to,
I know.
It thinks that the ruler is the marker. Okay.
And then you take my line and watch it. I'm messing
Actually, that is a pretty good line. Okay. Riley got one. Who's up? Geneva. Were you in the bottom here? Okay. 16 is one of those special ones. Stop. 16 is one of those special ones where it looks like it should be a lot more complicated than it is. What? Oh. You haven't earned it. You're squirrely.
But I'm doing work.
If I hold your hand.
Not true.
Okay, yes, I do need to get y by itself, divide by 2. But y equals number was a special kind of graph. Do we remember what it looks like?
Yes, it's just
Well, they're all lines.
just a line across the lines.
There you go. Remember, there is no x up there. So what you're saying is it's always going to be 4 for a y, no matter what x is. This is like the Groot of math. Literally. What about when x is -8? I am Groot. What about when x is -2? I am Groot. What about when x is 5? I am Groot. It responds y is 4 no matter what you said for x. And that's why it makes a horizontal line. That's a very good line. See, y'all showing me up now. Okay. Who else? See, we're ripping through these pretty fast. Okay, Landon? Landon wanted to come up here and flex on everyone. He went for 28.
So the first thing how do you change it to black?
Yeah? Yeah? Look at this guy being a pro, switching out colors, getting rid of the numbers. All right, that's it. Rest of the semester. Landon's teaching. I'm done.
So first I multiplied everything by 4 to get rid of all of the denominators.
I don't like fractions. Make fractions go away. Not a bad plan. Okay.
And then after I did all that, I subtracted 1x to get rid of x off of this side. And then I am left with -3y is less than -1x plus 28. What does that say after the last one? I can't read it. It's a negative. Okay, 1x minus 3y is less than 28.
Okay, I thought
And
that
then I subtracted
I thought
1x
that
from
said
each other.
2 something 8/1.
And then y still isn't by itself.
So I'm going to divide by -3. I get y, and since I divided by a negative, I need to flip the sign,
There you go.
and then I have 1/3x
Minus. 28 thirds does not reduce. But not too many of us are going to know where 28 thirds is off the top of our head. So then you grab a calculator to ballpark it. 28 divided by 3 gets you 9 1/3. 9 and some change. So where's your first point going to be?
So then I'm going to go down 9.
So down 9 and a little bit.
A little bit under, and then I'm going to go up 1/3 of 1/1, 2.
And every one of those points is going to be in that same little bit part of the box. But if you're going to keep acting like my 4-year-old, I will put you in the corner in the chair facing the corner. And you will sit there and think about what you've done. Okay, it is a dotted line, yes. Less ink here, less ink there. And it says y is greater than, so yeah, you have to shade upward, and it's almost all of the graph. Not bad. Okay, who else? We got the time. Rep through. Damien? You were back on the front page, right? Okay.
Is 5 today?
5, no. All right, dividing everything by 2. Everything by 2, good job.
Everything by 2, and you get y equals 3x plus 8.
So you start way up there.
Go up by 3 and divide by 1. I'll start by going down by 3 and divide by 1.
Okay, have to reverse your slope because we don't have enough room. Yeah, you're right. Sucks when you got that slope and then you accidentally count down 2 over 1 right in the middle of it. It's just a little bit off. Everyone's up here like doing their lines all careful and stuff. Yeah. Decent. Who else? We had AJ won 5 since it was right next to it. You got to be careful. Look at that stuff. Isn't stuff over 4? So who's being divided by 4? You can, but you're going to have to undo it again. You see how they're both over 4? Just write them both over 4. Put the x over 4 and the 3 over 4. Like, this is one of those times where if I tried to get rid of the denominator, I'm just going to have to undo my work because now y isn't by itself anymore. No? Just write them both over 4. X is over 4, 3 is over 4. Separately.
Okay. So y equals x over 4.
X is over 4 and 3 is over 4. So what number's in front of the x right now? Directly in front of the x. So what do we always put if there's nothing in front of the x? Okay, there you go. In front of the x, to the left of it. Coefficient. Now it looks like absolute value. Okay, going off the rails on the math train. Okay, there we go. Okay. Can you start at 3/4? Do y'all know about where that is? Ballpark? Can you ballpark it?
Say.
No, 3/4.
Okay.
There you go. It's like 75%, right? 0.75. Then from there, your slope is up 1, right 4. So they're all going to be in that goofy spot of just a little under the line. They're all going to be 3/4 of the way through the box. Ew. All right. And Chloe volunteered. It's all right, man. I mean, that whole idea of get rid of the denominator is good in 99% of the cases. It's just because of the specific form here. Which one were you doing again? 7?
We're doing 5.
Whoop. All right. Where starteth thou? Start at 5. Slope is 1, so on the back side you're going to have to go down 1, left 1. And a girl. Okay. I hope you're all catching that on the back side, since most of us chose stuff on the front. On the back side, please make sure that you are shading, that you are using solid and dotted lines.
I was struggling.
Okay? The whole thing's due on Monday. Monday will be a review and quiz.
Only got 1, 2, 3. There's time to go. I only got
Just about. Okay? Well, the goal was to do most of it together. Okay? Please have it done because you are going to see it again on that quiz. I'm hoping for some redemption here.